Welcome aboard Air Focus, your go-to channel for everything aviation. Flying is an experience that blends convenience, wonder, and, for some, a touch of trepidation. With more than 4 billion passengers taking to the skies each year, most remain blissfully unaware of the hidden truths lurking behind the scenes of commercial air travel. Whether you're a seasoned traveler or someone who only takes to the skies occasionally, there's always something new to learn about this fascinating world. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on some of the most intriguing secrets that flight attendants usually keep to themselves. From secret compartments to unspoken rules, these are the things you won't hear from your friendly crew.
So if you see us in the back talking and giggling and looking at the passengers, that's most likely because I'm talking about you.
So, fasten your seatbelt, make sure your tray table is stowed, and let's take off on a journey through the 10 airplane secrets that might just change the way you think about flying. Number 1. Don't drink the water. The unsettling truth about airplane H2O. One of the most alarming secrets involves something as simple as a glass of water. You might assume that ordering water on a plane is a safe and healthy choice, but flight attendants have a different perspective, one they rarely share with passengers.
It's the water we use for the lavatories and for the coffee, the same water. I'll leave that up to you if you want to drink your coffee.
The water tanks on airplanes, where the water used for making coffee, tea, and even drinking water is stored, are often not cleaned as regularly as you might hope. In fact, some flight attendants go out of their way to avoid drinking any water on the plane that isn't bottled. The reason? These water tanks can harbor bacteria, and since they are not frequently cleaned, the quality of the water can be questionable. The Association of Flight Attendants, AFA, has issued regulations regarding the cleanliness of airplane water, but these guidelines are broad and give airlines significant discretion in how often they clean the tanks. As a result, it's possible that the water you're drinking on a flight could have come from a tank that hasn't been cleaned in months. In fact, studies have found that 1 in 10 commercial planes tested positive for the presence of harmful bacteria in their water systems. While the chances of getting sick from airplane water are relatively low, the risk is enough to make many flight attendants steer clear of it altogether. The next time you're flying, consider sticking to bottled beverages. Not only are they safer, but you'll also avoid the unpleasant taste that can sometimes come from water that's been sitting in a tank for too long. Number 2. Secret cabins, the hidden resting places of flight attendants. Let's start with one of the most surprising secrets, the hidden cabins on long-haul flights. While passengers may be accustomed to the tight quarters of their seats, there's a world just out of sight that is reserved exclusively for flight attendants. On many long-haul flights, especially on aircraft like the Boeing 777 and 787, there are secret sleeping compartments designed to provide the crew with much-needed rest during their shifts. These secret cabins are typically located in the upper fuselage of the plane and can be accessed by a hidden staircase or a disguised hatch that blends seamlessly into the aircraft's design. These compartments are windowless and consist of bunk beds arranged in a dormitory style. Each bed is equipped with a privacy curtain, allowing crew members to catch some Z's undisturbed by the noise and light of the cabin below. These sleeping areas are essential on flights that can last up to 16 hours or more, as regulations require that flight attendants have adequate rest periods to remain alert and capable of performing their duties. Most passengers will never see these secret cabins, as they are designed to be completely out of sight and inaccessible without a special code or key. The next time you're on a long-haul flight and notice a flight attendant disappearing for an extended period, they might just be heading to one of these hidden retreats for a quick nap. Number 3. The science behind airplane food. Why it tastes so different. Have you ever noticed that airplane food just doesn't taste as good as you expect, even if it looks appetizing? There's a good reason for that, and it has everything to do with the environment inside the plane. When you're flying at 35,000 feet, the cabin pressure and low humidity levels have a significant impact on your senses, particularly your sense of taste and smell. In fact, studies have shown that your ability to taste saltiness and sweetness can drop by as much as 50% when you're in the air. This is why airplane food often seems bland or under-seasoned, even though it may be perfectly seasoned on the ground. To combat this, airline caterers often add extra seasoning to the meals prepared for flights. However, there's only so much they can do to counteract the effects of altitude. As a result, the food might taste different or even bland once it's served to you in the air. In addition to the changes in taste, there are also strict regulations about what can be done with leftover airplane food. In North America, Australia, and Europe, for example, stringent agricultural laws mean that leftover food from flights cannot leave the airport and must be disposed of or donated to local communities. Interestingly, in countries like India, there's a market for smuggled airplane food, which is often sold for a fraction of its original value. However, flight attendants risk serious consequences, including termination if they are caught trying to take leftover food off the plane. Number 4. Don't use the bathroom before takeoff, a lesser-known inconvenience. It's common knowledge that passengers should remain seated with their seatbelts fastened during takeoff and landing. But did you know that using the bathroom before takeoff can actually delay your flight? Here's how it works. If a passenger decides to use the bathroom just before the plane is set to take off, the flight attendants are required to notify the pilots, who then have to wait until the passenger is back in their seat before proceeding. This is because passengers in the bathroom during takeoff pose a safety risk. They could easily be injured by the sudden acceleration or deceleration of the plane. Legally, pilots are not allowed to take off if a passenger is in the bathroom, which means your quick trip to the lavatory could delay the entire flight. Moreover, using the bathroom during takeoff or landing is not just uncomfortable. It can also be dangerous, as these are the most critical phases of the flight. To avoid this inconvenience, it's best to use the restroom before boarding the plane or wait until the seatbelt sign has been turned off once you're in the air. That way, you'll avoid holding up the flight and ensure your own safety. Number 5. Secret codes, the hidden language of flight attendants. Like any workplace, the cabin of an airplane is full of its own jargon and secret codes used by flight attendants to communicate discreetly. These codes can range from simple everyday phrases to more serious signals that indicate potential issues or emergencies. For example, if you ever hear a flight attendant mention last-minute paperwork, it's likely code for a delay. Another common phrase, code ATOM, is used to alert the crew to a missing child. And if you hear the term deadhead, don't be alarmed. It simply refers to an off-duty crew member who is being repositioned to another location. But not all codes are used for serious matters. Flight attendants, like anyone else, enjoy a bit of gossip and often have their own language for discussing passengers without being too obvious. For instance, if a flight attendant wants to discreetly point out an attractive passenger, they might say something like 7 days in America if the passenger is seated in 7A, or 10 days in Greece for 10G. These codes are usually specific to each airline or even each crew, making them a unique and often humorous aspect of flight attendants' work. So the next time you're on a flight, keep an ear out for any unusual phrases. You might just pick up on some of these secret conversations. Number 6. The hidden dangers of airplane items. Why you should bring your own. When you board a plane, it's easy to take advantage of the conveniences offered, like blankets, pillows, and headphones. However, flight attendants know that these items are not always as clean as they appear. Due to the tight schedules of commercial airlines, there's often little time to thoroughly clean or replace these items between flights. In many cases, blankets and pillows are simply refolded, and headphones are repackaged and resealed without being sanitized. This means that the next passenger to use them could be exposed to germs from previous users.
Do clean, but what they mean by cleaning is they vacuum the carpet and they do wipe down the lavatories, but every single tray table, no, they don't wipe that down.
Even more unsettling is the fact that flight attendants have reported seeing everything from food spills to diaper changes occurring on the tray tables, which are also rarely cleaned between flights. This makes it all the more important to take precautions, such as bringing your own blanket, pillow, and headphones, and using disinfectant wipes to clean your tray table before using it. By bringing your own items, you'll not only have a more comfortable experience, but you'll also avoid the potential health risks associated with using airline-provided amenities. Number 7. Intense training, the rigorous preparation of flight attendants. Becoming a flight attendant may seem like a glamorous job, but the reality is that it requires extensive training and preparation. In fact, the training programs for flight attendants are among the most rigorous in the aviation industry. Take Delta Airlines, for example. Their training program is so competitive that some people say it's easier to get into Harvard than to be accepted into Delta's flight attendant training. Each year, Delta receives around 150,000 applications from people wanting to become flight attendants, but only 1% make it to the training stage. The training lasts for 8 weeks and covers a wide range of topics, from vaccinations and CPR to learning how to evacuate a plane within 90 seconds and more. The flight attendants are also trained to pull people from the water into a raft to be best prepared for the worst. Additionally, they participate in a real flight simulator, where they experience what it's like to lose control of the plane and must act quickly to ensure everyone gets out as fast as possible. So, the next time you see a flight attendant, remember everything they had to go through to even get to their job. It was definitely not as easy as it might sound. Number 8. The secret life of airplane toilets. What you don't want to know. Airplane toilets are a necessary evil on any flight, but what most people don't know is that these small spaces harbor many secrets you'd rather not be aware of. While we've already discussed why using the toilet before takeoff can cause problems, there's much more to the story. One of the most shocking facts about airplane toilets is that they're not always cleaned between flights. On short flights where planes need to turn around quickly for the next flight, there's often no time for a thorough cleaning. This means you could be using a toilet that has already been used by hundreds of other passengers without being cleaned. Additionally, it's rumored that the flush button on airplane toilets is one of the dirtiest surfaces on board, often contaminated with all sorts of bacteria. This makes it all the more important to wash your hands thoroughly and, if possible, bring disinfectant wipes to clean surfaces before you touch them. And if you've ever wondered why airplane toilet doors can be opened from the outside, even when locked, this is a safety measure. The crew needs to be able to quickly access the toilet in case of an emergency, such as a passenger becoming unwell. Number 9. The magic of first class. How to get an upgrade. Many people dream of flying in the luxury of first class one day. But what most don't know is that it's possible to get that coveted upgrade without paying the full price. While nothing is guaranteed, there are a few tricks you can try to increase your chances. One of the best ways to score an upgrade is simply to ask for one. It might sound simple, but many frequent travelers report that politely asking for an upgrade can sometimes do the trick, especially if you're dressed nicely and have the right attitude. Airlines often upgrade well-dressed passengers because they believe these passengers will enhance the image of the first-class cabin. In addition, traveling solo can be an advantage. There are often more single seats available in first class than there are for groups, meaning you have a better chance of getting an upgrade as an individual traveler. It's also wise to travel during peak times when airlines sometimes upgrade passengers due to overbooked flights. And if you're a member of a frequent flyer program, your chances of getting an upgrade are even higher, as airlines often prioritize their loyal customers. Some frequent flyers even claim they use a secret code when calling to inquire about an upgrade. They ask the airline if revenue management has released any first-class seats yet. While this doesn't guarantee success, it can increase your chances if you ask at the right time. Above all, remember to be friendly and courteous to the staff. A positive attitude can go a long way, and you never know, it might just be your lucky day.
If you want to get anything free on an airplane, it's actually pretty easy. Just be super nice to your flight attendants.
Number 10. The mandatory window blinds, what you might not know. Many passengers think that keeping the blinds open is simply preparation for arrival or departure, but it actually serves a crucial safety function. During takeoff and landing, window blinds must be kept open to ensure the safety of everyone on board. This is the time when most accidents occur, and it's essential that both the crew and passengers have a clear view of what's happening outside the plane. If something goes wrong, like an engine catching fire or an issue with the wings, passengers are often the first to notice. By keeping the blinds open, passengers can quickly spot any problems and alert the crew, significantly reducing response time. According to Boeing statistics, 16% of incidents occur during takeoff and 29% during landing. By simply keeping your blinds open and staying alert to what's happening outside, you increase the chances that everything will go smoothly. And there you have it. 10 airplane secrets that will make your next flight a little more interesting. If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden truths with us, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to stay updated with all things aviation. Whether it's more secrets, travel tips, or fascinating insights into the world above the clouds, Air Focus is here to keep you informed and entertained. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the skies.